What's going on, guys? George Jones,
Jake Fisher,
and Jordan James
representing
GFT.
So, today we're at an indoor BMX park, and we're going to be testing the ropes with it. We're going to interview the owner and the manager. We're going to have fun. Let's get it.
Okay, now remember, guys, #1 rule:
safe.
stay safe.
Helmet on and fastened anytime you're on your bike. If you're hanging out in the lounge taking a break, not riding, you can take your helmet off, no problem. But as soon as you jump on the bike and start to move, gotta have helmet on and buckled. Cool? Okay, awesome. So, you also have to make responsible decisions for yourself. It's not an amusement park where we strap you in and take you for a ride. You're the one controlling your experience, so make smart decisions. If something looks like you're not sure how it's gonna turn out, don't do it. So, that being said, we did divide the courses into green, blue, and black. Everybody familiar with that? Green is the easy trails, blue is intermediate, black diamond is the advanced trails. So always start with the green trails. Always look at everything before you ride it so nothing surprises you. So you know if there's a quick turn coming or a drop or something goes up or down or whatever. If you see red line going across something in the trail, it means there might be a drop off the back side of it. You're not going to see that on the green trail, but you'll start to see that on the blue and the black diamond trails. We have a white line going through the corridor. Just like driving on the street, you have to drive on what side of the road? Right side, thank you. The corners are tight. This is an old building, so the corridors are tight. Watch the little kids in the turns. Sometimes they don't turn the right way. They might kind of get in your way, so just go nice and slow in the corridors. If you want to go fast, save that for the trails. Always yield to smaller riders, that kind of thing. No reason to run over anybody. We have the whole entire city block. There's plenty of room to ride around. The trails are directional, so make sure you look at the arrows and observe what direction you're supposed to be traveling so we don't have anyone colliding with anybody. The only place you're not going to see arrows for direction is some of the skate park style stuff, like the half pipe, where you just go and you take your turn. You do that for like 30 seconds or a minute, and then you get out and let the next person take their turn. That way you're not running into each other. If you see red diagonal lines across part of the trail, it means you're standing in a spot where people are trying to ride through. So just get yourself out of that area so that other people can ride through there. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. Start in the foam pit. Okay. Oh, we'll walk up here. It's a little bit slippery.
Well, I got these 6s on. Are these gonna affect my sneakers at any chance? The George Jones gotta stay impressive.
You should be good. You should be good. All right, so we're at the foam pit.
Jump in. What do you guys do?
What do you think? What made you want to start here?
So, I was watching a video, and I saw somebody riding his bike around and showing all the areas.
Yeah.
And this area really impressed me because it can help beginners get their tricks down packed and safely.
Definitely, without a doubt. Yeah, we want everything in the park to be accessible from people who are just learning to ride, like when you guys came in, those younger kids that came here, they're just doing a learn to ride lesson, so they don't even know how to pedal a bike yet. We have an area upstairs that you'll see that's just flat ground. People learn how to ride bikes all the way up to, I want to learn how to jump, or I want to learn how to jump and do a trick. And we also want to make it progressive so that you don't have to go too far when you're going up a level, so that it doesn't get too risky. So let's say you want to learn how to jump, you're able to ride all the trails except for the jumps. We have some really little jumps you can start with, but you want to ride a bigger jump. You got through all the little ones. Now you can roll in here, try the big jump once you feel like you could land it. So the idea is you land on your bike, on your pedals, so that you could ride away potentially. Once you feel like you can do that consistently, then you head over here.
We need the same thing.
So this one, you'll see that it's got that sheet of plastic over top of foam. There's a whole foot of foam there. So the idea with this is it's stiff enough that when you land on your wheels, you can ride away. So you see all those tire marks there? That's people riding away. But if you don't land on your wheels, it's slick, so it dissipates your energy, and it has a foot of foam, so it cushions your impact. So if you do happen to fall, the consequences are a lot less. So you got out of the foam pit, you start, this is called a resi ramp. You got onto the resi ramp, you start being able to land this consistently, you feel like you got that completely under control, now you can take it out to the real thing. So we try to give you a way to progress just incrementally without having too big of a risk. But also that curve right there, people, if they're going fast enough, you can jump out of this, jump here, and actually do a roll out on that line.
Over to that one.
So you see, you kind of see like the tire marks and scrapes on the wall.
Yes, that is actually pretty
So
cool.
they like jump up, they hit that, and come back in.
That's pretty cool.
So they go this way, or we going this way? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So then, wait, the
You're going to the right. You always go to the right.
Yeah, so when you get up to the deck there where you come in, you'll see the arrows all you come in on the right hand side. There's three lines that come in where square one is.
Oh, okay, yep.
Middle there, and then the one on the inside by the poles. They come this way, and then you can decide if you want to go under the tunnel or over top. It's not technically a half pipe because there's a flat area in the middle of it, so it's not technically a half pipe. But a lot of people still refer to it as a half pipe, but it's really called a mini ramp, and that one's called a micro mini ramp, so it's even smaller radius. It's harder because it's tighter and things happen faster and there's less room to do it. So yeah, actually, believe it or not, the bigger things are, a lot of times the easier they are to do because you have more room to work on them. You gain control again in the middle. Exactly.
Now, I have a question for you, sir. What is your favorite trick to do on this mini ramp?
So I am horrible at riding this area. So if it was my own trick, I would say a 180 fakie out. So it's where you roll up, you stall, and then you're rolling backwards and you turn your handlebars and spin around. So that I can work on in here. When you get above, this is called the coping right here. This metal piece is called the coping. Like a landmark of your progress is when you can jump above the coping. I can get like 1 inch above the coping.
So when you say above the coping, you mean like
Back tire.
yeah, back tire?
Means that your bike jumps up like this and come back in. And then you go to the
Your
other
whole bike
side.
better be above it.
That is a lot.
Yeah, so that's I get about 1 inch on a good day. But there's a lot of people that can get like 6, 7 feet.
Those are the real bikes. Guess what? We're at the Flow MTB room, and this is looking really wonky. We're gonna see what this is about, and it looks really cool. So Jordan and Jordan over here with Harry. We're gonna see what they're talking about. Come on.
Flow, MTB stands for mountain bike. And flow because this room has fewer obstacles in it, so you get to flow through it a little bit easier without getting stopped up by like logs and rocks and things like that. And this room has options for beginner, intermediate, and advanced runners. Okay.
Sick.
So I will actually, since it's not busy, I will just take you on the track.
That exclusive content here.
Because we're helping the people.
Try to give you a little bit of an idea of where the up. So if you're going slower, you're going to be lower in the berm. Stay up that one. So if you don't have the speed, then you just come to this one here. This has two options up here. One's got like a little jump, and the other one's got a drop on it.
Now this looks pretty sick, man.
If you're going fast, you see the tire marks up there? So you can see by the tire marks where people have ridden this. Get your bike up on there.
How much speed does it take you?
This just looks so
Like this here, if you see this sign drop, that means that you're coming up to the spot where there's going to be a drop off.
So are you up? Like, if you accidentally jump?
No, I mean, basically, the only person who can hurt is yourself.
Now, can people also put the tires on this side?
Yep, definitely. So the key to this one is you come up here, angle up this way, come up, ride, hop back in this way.
wow. Look at this kid. He's like a pro. Look at him kill it. He's killing it. of them hit those tricks.
We have logs and rocks, so that one's like a little bit more of a taste of all the different things you can see.
Okay.
But then same thing, you can see the green line. We have a trail that's a lot easier, it doesn't like the drop on that one.
So you guys actually stick true to that. It's not just something at the front door.
Exactly, we try. It's not always possible. Like the big jump room obviously can't be big and easy.
Yeah.
So it just happens. But we do have smaller jumps like you see here, and we have even smaller jumps upstairs. So we try to have, it may not be in the same location, but we try to have like a small, medium, and large version of everything in the park.
Oh, okay.
That way you never have to just jump to the big thing. You can start with the small.
Like a leveling up.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Is there any other skate or bike parks like this in Pittsburgh?
No, actually, there are a few public skate parks, but we are one of only 3 bike parks in the United States. What he's doing, you see how he's just working his arms and legs almost like he's on a horse kind of thing?
What's it called?
Pump track.
Pump track.
So pumping is, sorry, get out of your way. So pumping is, do you want to give us another demonstration lap? You want to demonstrate another lap for us? Awesome, thank you.
All right, let's watch it.
Yeah, so you see, so he's probably, maybe pedal in the beginning, but he's not pedaling anymore. So just by using that pumping motion with his arms and legs, that's how he generates all that speed.
Push down.
How long does it usually take to master something?
Yeah, he's gonna come through here. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
It's the main components of pumping are the body position and then the timing, so that you match up with those things are called rollers. So matching the timing and the movement with the shape of the rollers, because they're different sizes and shapes.
Makes sense.
Sometimes you just click by luck, or just it feels natural to you based on some other experience, and then sometimes you really have to work for it.
Yeah.
So some people like they get it right off the bat, and some people just like they struggle for a while. But it's one of those things that when it clicks, and you're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to feel like.
So it's like shooting basketball or doing a crossover. You gotta perfect it, or some people are just naturally born with it.
Well, you can. It's like that where some people got it right off the bat, and some people had to work at it a long time.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where once you experience the feeling of it, because pumping actually generates speed. So the first time you pump and you actually accelerate, then you're like, oh, that's what I did it right. Like I know what it feels like now. So then you just try to recreate that feeling again. But it just takes a little bit. People are different as far as how quickly they access that feeling.
So basically, once they get it, it's just muscle memory.
Exactly. Once you get it, then your timing gets locked in, and then you know what to do from there.
Like my green light on 2K.
Biology, folks. We're learning everything.
This is a park room. We call it the park room because it's like a skate park. So this is like traditionally like what you would see in an outdoor skate park. A lot of these elements, the grind ledges, the grind rails. That thing's called the spine. It's like two things that goes up against each other. So you even just like ride a bike normal at all, just flat ground. This was real wobbly, and you look at him now, like 3 years later, and he's amazing.
How dangerous would this be if the foam pit was not here?
So the purpose of this foam pit is actually, do you see the rail going through the middle of it?
Yes, I do.
So that's a 2x6, so about 6 inches wide. We actually have something similar upstairs that's just flat on the ground. So what we discovered is you can learn to ride, to balance on that narrow line, and you can do it upstairs when it's flat on the ground. You can do it all day long. But as soon as you get it up in the air 4 or 5 feet, then suddenly people start to freak out because you're not concentrating and you're thinking about, oh, I'm gonna fall, or oh, this is really high, and you're not thinking about riding the bike. So we created this foam pit to help you learn how to concentrate. So it's the same skill that you use upstairs, so you know you can do the skill. You just got to get your head straight.
Do you make like a lot of things out of this wood to construct like this area in this park?
Definitely, great question. We wanted to keep the park feeling natural, like you're outside. Even though we are inside, we like to ride outside. So we do use a lot of natural wood in here, but also we believe in recycling lumber, using reclaimed lumber. So actually a lot of the wood that you see, like all the decking that we walk on, a lot of these trails were all built with lumber that came from a water tower. There was a 2 million gallon water tower up in Butler County. They formed it out of wood and poured the concrete in to make the tower. And somebody disassembled the wood forms, and we bought all the wood from them, pulled out all the nails, and built the park with all that reclaimed lumber.
I bet it cost a lot of money.
Well, the lumber was cheap because it was reclaimed, but we hired 3 people full-time just to pull nails. Yes. Do you have to make on each piece of wood? How many different cuts?
3.
And how many angles? So you're correct, 3 cuts. Now how many angles on those 3 cuts?
Would be 2?
Total?
No.
6.
2 per?
Yeah, 2 per.
You got it.
Hey, I went to wood shop for about 1
Nice.
year.
You got the wood shop, you got the wood shop, you know, for auto mechanic, but you got the wood shop.
Yeah, I got the wood shop. I'll probably make this skate park.
There you go. Yeah.
That's good.
Definitely.
I'm ready. Rock and roll. Locked and loaded. Jake.
Remember,
Oh.
safety first.
All right, so everybody familiar with the brakes? So there's no pedal brakes or anything, it's all hand brakes. So if you just try single finger on the brakes, they're nice and powerful. All you need is just your first finger on the brakes. And follow me. These bikes just have 1 gear and it's pretty hard. So that last part of the main hard door here, you can just get off and walk. Yeah, that's totally normal. The first most important thing is we're going to be standing up through here because, like when you saw him in the pump track, how much he's moving around. If your seat up was up high, it would keep hitting you in the butt and you wouldn't be able to do anything. It would kind of like push you off the bike. So we got the seats low and out of the way. Our riding is going to be standing up. We want to have the cranks parallel to the ground. So anytime you're not pedaling, just have your cranks parallel to the ground. So you can rotate it backwards to the level. And you're going to find that 1 foot is more comfortable being in front and one foot's more comfortable being in the back. So just find whichever one's more comfortable to you. So let's go ahead. Let's just go around. Just take it. We're going to go like a slow jogging pace in a circle. And hold on 1 second. Just take a pedal and when you stop pedaling. So just take a pedal when you stop pedaling. Just keep your cranks level. And you're going down on your bike.
So Jake, how have you felt about the tour so far?
You know what, George? I've been feeling pretty good. I feel like this is gonna be a good place to try out my hiking skills.
Man, I know I haven't biked in 10 years, so I know I got no biking skills, but this place makes me feel welcome to try them.
Man, you're very welcome. Now, back to the tour.
And that will keep you stable because if you're trying to pedal while you're going like up and over that stuff, it's super hard. So you have to be strategic. Get your pedaling done before the obstacle and then just chill out in that stable position and move up and down with the bike. Does that make sense?
Cool.